Well, more than 100,000 Russian troops are at Ukraine's border. This as the United States and NATO allies warn President Vladimir Putin not to invade. As Owen reported earlier, Pope Francis dedicated today as a day of prayer for peace in Ukraine. And joining me now to discuss is Archbishop Borys Gudziak, Metropolitan Archbishop of Philadelphia for Ukrainian Catholics in the United States. He is also head of the Department of External Church Relations for the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church. Your Excellency, welcome. Thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. I want to get your thoughts, first off, on what we see developing in Ukraine, and also what are you hearing from your parishioners and those in the community?
Well, I come to you from London on my way from Ukraine. I flew out of Philadelphia yesterday, out of Newark, actually. What is happening? Ukraine has a gun to its head, which means not just abstractly a country, but the people under great tension. The war's been going on for 8 years. The country is surrounded on 3 sides by over 100,000 Russian troops. And the saber rattling has been going on throughout, the whole Christmas season. The nativity narrative is the story of how the Prince of Peace comes to us. And we celebrate God's presence with us, but we also see the anguish of Mary, the bewilderment of Joseph, the exile of the Holy Family. We see Herod, who trembles for his power, and he's willing to kill kids to wipe out the Messiah. The Lord is with us where we suffer. And the question of Ukrainians is how much more do we need to suffer? There's been 8 years of war. The devastation of the infrastructure, the economy has been undermined. There's cyber attacks, and everybody is praying for peace. And we were very grateful to Pope Francis for this day of prayer, global day of prayer for peace in Ukraine. Members of our church, with the solidarity of many others, had prayer vigils today across the world. And we hope that the Lord can speak to the hardened heart of the modern Herod, that he does not take more blood on his hands. It's a life and death situation, but Ukrainians aren't falling apart. They're hardened by a difficult history in the 20th century when 15 million Ukrainians were killed by the world wars and Nazi and Soviet totalitarianism. And they today are getting ready, getting set. There's 400,000 veterans of this war, plus the 100,000 Ukrainian troops that are in uniform, and they will fight for their dignity and freedom. Because right now, that is the issue. It's the question of dignity, freedom, democracy, freedom of the press, freedom of religion, the opportunity to have a civil society. That's what Ukraine has. And Putin is threatened by that, because if that comes into Russia, the kleptocratic oligarchy will fall apart.
Your Excellency, we have probably less than a minute left or so, but quickly wondering, what are your hopes with this situation, and how do you think it'll play out?
It's hard to say what will happen. My hopes is that there will be peace, that the international community will be in complete solidarity with a victim. Ukraine has never attacked Russia. It has no intention of attacking Russia. It's got a Jewish president. It's got a Muslim population in Crimea, which is fervently passionately patriotic towards Ukraine, even though it's annexed in Russia. It's a place where people are moving from the totalitarian past to a future of freedom. And I hope that movement is not stopped. But that is exactly what President Putin wants to do. I hope he doesn't do it by escalating the war.
Well, Your Excellency, unfortunately, we don't have any time left. I wish we had more time to talk, but thank you so much for speaking with us about this very difficult situation, and we are all praying for peace right now.
Thank you for carrying the story, and please continue because there's much more to come.